For the last 2 minutes, I've been trying to move a mouse that's not hooked up to this computer I'm on. All right, what's up, guys? I hope everybody can hear me. Had some technical difficulties with several things as usual, but hey, it wouldn't be one of my streams if we didn't have technical difficulties. Tonight, we are starting a series of videos that we're going to be calling Modder Spotlights, and we're going to be featuring some of the best and brightest in the modding community. And before we jump into tonight's guest, which is Calen Safler from Envious Mods, I want to give a shout out to our friends at Bleederhead. They recently sent me a bottle of this tube lube for bending tubes, and I have to say, as a very much a novice when it comes to tube bending, this has been a lifesaver. I can't say enough good things about this. It's non-toxic and all that stuff. I believe it's water-based, and it makes bending tubes so much easier. It is not even funny. So if you're going to be doing a custom build with a custom loop, highly recommend checking out Tube Lube from Bleederhead. So I'm going to bring in tonight's guest, and that's Calen from Envious Mods. Calen, my friend, how the hell you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I am excellent. Can everybody hear Calen as well? If you can hear me, you should be able to hear him. So, basically what we're going to be doing in this series is talking to modders about what got them started, what drives them, their process, all that stuff. So, Calen, how long have you been in the modding scene now?
Let's see. I think I've been doing it I did it for years, way back when we did it primarily for, keeping our stuff cooler, performance stuff. I did it a long time ago, then kind of got away from computers for a little while, but since I've started donating a good amount of time to just modding, it's been about 6 years, right around there.
Yeah. And I met you almost 4 years ago, actually.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
It was my first CES. CES
That's
2017, right. And it was at the Gigabyte booth.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So
God, it seems like so long ago.
I know. It I can't believe I've been doing this now. Oh my God. A long time. I've been streaming on and off 7 years now. Yeah.
Good God.
Almost 8. I've been with Modders Inc. almost 2 years. And I've been reviewing almost 4. So yeah, it's definitely been a journey.
Yeah, it flies by.
So, what was your first really big mod that was, put in a show? Of any show, whether it was a local little LAN party or whatever.
Actually, the first one may have been the year we met at CES. It was the Apex mod. It was like orange and black, and it was at the Gigabyte ballroom at that time. Where they had a bunch of different mods set up on a little pedestal that was about a foot high. It was a big black box. I don't know if that was the year we met or the year after.
I believe it was. I believe this is it. Yeah, it had the Alpha Cool hardware in it.
Yep. It's inverted with 2 water-blocked Alpha Cool GPUs. And I think it had the XPX block from Alpha Cool, if I remember right. Actually, I still have that one out in the shop in a box right now. I don't think I've looked at it since then, but it's out there.
Yeah, so I have a picture of this mod up on stream. And yeah, I do remember that very well. Beautiful mod. Like everything else you've ever done.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. It was really the first one that I had, a time and a budget to actually, try out some new stuff and really work with acrylic more. I've been working with acrylic for quite some time, but that's the first one I really got to try out the ideas I've been thinking about for a long time.
What's your current project you're working on right now?
Right now I'm working on kind of a pet project, which is always fun. I usually do one, maybe two a year that are just kind of my own. What I would do if I had the choice to do whatever I wanted. I do like one or two a year. And I'm taking like a 27, 28-year-old case and modding it with a new interior. And it's going to be all Cyberpunk 2077 themed.
Yeah.
And I'm about a third of the way through it, and it's coming together really well.
Yeah, that's gonna look awesome when it's done. Is the desk mod all done?
The desk mod is finished. I'm actually standing next to it. I've been using it for probably like 2 or 3 months now.
Nice. Do you have any pictures you
So,
want me to pop up?
I'm trying to think. Actually, all the pictures are either probably on Builds GG is probably the easiest way to pull them up under Splitter. It's got all the different pictures for it. There's also a video of it on my YouTube channel, Envious Mods YouTube channel. That thing was kind of tricky to take pictures of. I mean, there's so many different details and it's so big that you really can't see it all unless you have like 20 or 30 pictures to show. Even in a video, it seemed like it was hard to fit it in, something that wasn't 20 minutes long.
Now that was the same case that was at my mods booth at PAX East. The same desk or
Uh,
no?
no, that's a different one. That's a prototype that was at their booth for, I think it's called BFD that My Mods is doing with Dymastech, and that was their prototype. So they built that system for PAX.
Is it the mod bench? No, that's something else.
No, that's an old test bench. The mod bench was actually a project that I did years ago, and it was supposed to be released, and it got finished, and the release got delayed and delayed and delayed, and it does happen. So it got released like several years, I think, after I finished it.
So, who was the first company that ever offered to sponsor you?
Actually, let's see. The first sponsored build I did was a scratch build called Dark Matter, and the thing was massive. And it was sponsored by Gigabyte, EK, Be Quiet. I'm trying to think who else. God, that was a long time ago. I had some other sponsors that did some small parts of it. But it was my first, sponsored build, first scratch build. I think I had like 1,000 hours or more into that thing. It took me over a year, and I think I learned more in that scratch build than I have any other project since.
One thing I can say about your mods above anyone else's I've seen is the amount of detail you put into them is unbelievable.
Thanks.
That
I'm all about the details.
that one you had at CES this year that you did all the laser cutting by hand, that
Uh-huh.
was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of front. That front panel took forever, but it was well worth it. It was a lot of fun to do.
What was the name of that mod?
That one was called 01, all one word.
I absolutely love the intro. I still can't believe you cut that thing by hand.
And it was kind of one of those, since I've got the laser, I mean, it saves time. It does a lot of the same stuff that you can do by hand, but I enjoy doing it by hand. So that's why that whole front panel, I decided just to cut by hand. Do the old sand file, and it took forever, but man, it was a lot of fun.
Well, you did an amazing job, and the build came out unbelievable. It's so hard to pick because all of your builds are just so beautiful, but this is definitely one of my favorites that you've done. So I really like the music that Calen used in this video, but we had to edit it out thanks to YouTube, so if you want to hear it, just pop over to Calen's channel and check it out.
Music takes forever to figure out.
It really does, and I don't think people understand how difficult it can be sometimes.
Yeah, it takes me sometimes weeks.
Yeah, same here. For me, the hardest part of doing the video is finding the right music. I think people really underestimate how difficult that step is.
Usually now, since I've learned, I kind of figure out the music first, and then I shoot according to it, so it's a lot easier.
I try to do the same thing.
Yeah, before I made the mistake of doing sound after, and then it was like, you really had to work at it to make it, fit correctly.
So I'll get a good chunk of the footage that I'm using, and I'll kind of figure out how I want the B-roll to go, and I'll pick out like the first video, and I will find a song that just goes with that clip, whether it's 2 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever it is, and I'll go from there, and I'll find a song that just hits me. And it's difficult sometimes, you know what I mean? It really is.
Yeah. Well, it's like you got to appeal to the audience you're going to, plus copyright laws and all that stuff. It takes forever just to make sure that you don't get pulled down for something you think you're doing the right way.
So you know what I do? I have a subscription to Epidemic Sound, and although I never really do videos, it is worth it. It's like $15 a month per channel. So I only have one for the Modders Inc. channel. I used to have 2 subscriptions for my own channel and originally Pro Clockers, but then I switched it to Modders Inc. and then I dropped my channel when I completely wiped it out because I still don't really know what I want to do with my channel if I'm going to do anything.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult to find time to do videos. It's getting easier now, but it's difficult when it's not like your full-time job and it's just something you do on the side.
Yeah.
Like in the time I can record and edit a video, I can write 2 reviews.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, for me, it's been a massive learning experience. I mean, just trying to figure out how to edit, finding a good editing program, and all that stuff just has taken forever. But you see, each video I do gets a little bit better each time. At least that's my goal.
Yeah.
So they've gotten pretty decent now, but it's taken a lot of time to get there.
Yeah, dude, I know how you feel, man. I tried so many different programs. I bought like, $50, $60 editing programs. I tried free ones. And then eventually I was like, and I just went with Adobe. And I have the entire suite. I learned so much playing with Adobe that it's not even funny. How did you initially get into modding? Like, what was there any like life-changing event that just brought you to it? Is it something you always dicked with, or?
Well, I've grew up in a family of craftsmen, actually wood craftsmen. So I'd always been around tools and fixing stuff and, making stuff work for me. You buy a product, it doesn't always work the way you want it to. So I always grew up doing that kind of stuff. But actually, probably about 7 years ago now, maybe a little bit less, I had a traumatic brain injury, which caused like a brain hemorrhage, my brain to bleed pretty much. And so I was in ICU for like almost 3 weeks and then the hospital after. But after the first probably 2.5, 3 weeks, you just kind of get bored of sitting there. And so my girlfriend at the time had brought in a laptop for me to, kill some time with. And I was just kind of going online, killing time, and I came across this picture of a piano a guy had modded to fit his whole computer in. So he had his like triple monitors, he had the computer built inside it, and like since then I'm like, what is this? Like I've never seen this kind of stuff before. So I just started diving into it, and since then I literally have not stopped. I mean, as bad as it stuck to go through that experience, I wouldn't have it any other way because I wouldn't be modding today if it wasn't for that situation.
Yeah, dude.
So.
I mean, mine wasn't like anything that bad, but I told you how I got into computers and reviewing and shit, right? I wrote a comparison between the Razer Naga and the Corsair M65, the original M65, and posted it on Facebook. And then somebody from another website basically sent me a private message being like, hey, that was a great article. You ever think of writing hardware reviews? And that's just how it started. That was 2015, I think. No, 2014. I don't remember now. It's been so long. All I know is right before I hit 1 year, before my first article had been like published, was when I went to CES. So I started with Stan the end of 2015. My first article was published the beginning of 2016. I think, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Either the end of 2015 or beginning of 2016. And it was, I think I still have it, actually.
It's amazing how these weird situations get us into the industry.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. It's completely mind-blowing to me. Like,
it's total happen chance, you know? It's like a single conversation or act is what created this new path.
Even when I was like on the downside of my life, I still followed the community. I wasn't like, I wasn't really like actively building computers, but I had a computer. I still played games. I still watched all the crap on YouTube. And I've been following Modders Inc. for so long it isn't even funny. I almost shit myself when I got hired to work for them. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me was getting hired by Modders Inc.
Yeah, I've been following Modders Inc. for as long as I can remember, since I've been modding. So, I mean, at least 5 or 6, 7 years, probably, something like that.
Yeah, it's probably been about 8 for me that I've been following Modders Inc.
I mean, it's such a good community that's, you know, positive for people trying to start modding or learn, you know, new techniques or check out gear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare to have a positive place to go. You know, it's becoming less and less common these days.
Yeah, most places online are so toxic and horrible, but
totally.
This community is awesome. You know, you don't go on YouTube and hear about, you know, people that review computer hardware or modders getting demonetized and banned from friggin' Facebook and shit, you know? It's a very calm community. Every now and again, people act up, and there's some real meatheads kicking around that I've heard many stories about.
It's bound to happen, but it doesn't happen often.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I had actually completely given up the thought of ever doing anything with any of this. I used to stream on Hitbox, and I did really good on Hitbox, but then they switched and basically bought out another streaming service, merged the two, and focused mostly on esports. And ever since then, I just gave up. I quit. And then I was working with Jeff. Oh, God. I can't remember his name, but he used to work with Modders Inc. He's Jeff from Craft Computing. And after watching him blow up like he did, I got like motivated again and kind of got back into it. And
if I remember right, he lives near me.
Yeah, he's very close to you. I know he's like a half hour from Tom, and you're not far from Tom either, right?
Yeah, we're all pretty close.
Yeah, but I remember not last year, the year before, so CES 2018, Jeff came with us, and he had started for Modders Inc. a couple months after me, and both his channel and Modders Inc. had right around 1,200 subscribers when we were at CES that year. We're at just over 2,400. I think he might be at 100,000 at this point.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez.
Jeff got me motivated again to actually feel like, you know, I can do something with this to actually get me out of my day job, because I can't stand my day job. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but modding is your day job now, correct?
Yeah, I've been doing it for full time for shit, like 4 years, maybe a little bit more.
Nice.
So I pretty much just saved up a bunch of money from my then full time job and just kind of, ate top ramen a lot, stacked a bunch of money so I could make the switch over to modding full time and not be so stressed about bills.
Yeah.
And it's done well. I mean, I really can't complain. I'm not rich by any means, but I can pay my bills and I get to do what I love every single day. So
Yeah.
it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, that's my motivation. I don't want to have to cook. I'm a chef full time currently, and I hate it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's terrible. My daughter told me she wants to go to culinary school, and I'm trying to find anything I can do to persuade her to do other than that. Because
But you're good at it.
yeah, I was good
You
at a
just
lot. I was good at a lot of things that I don't do anymore. Some for more obvious reasons than others. So, what is your favorite build that you've done since you started modding?
Oh God, I can't even remember parts. I mean, there's probably a handful of people will be like, "Oh yeah, you know that one mod you did, with the whatever, whatever," and I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And then I'll get home and they'll like send me a picture, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that one." It's like you just do so many in a year.
Yeah.
But I'd say my favorite. I mean, I have so they're all so different, and I like them for different reasons. But I think my favorite for ones that I've learned a lot of things while building would probably be my first Scratch build. But my favorite, like aesthetically, would probably be the Onyx mod that I did for PAX East
Yo,
that
that
you saw.
I was just gonna say my favorite build of yours is the Onyx mod. Like,
Yeah, I love that
no
thing. That was so much
questions
fun.
asked.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was just kind of a weird idea to just cut the back off and leave only three of the corners intact and kind of leave it free floating and try something different with the GPU, and it all just kind of evolved from that.
I got that GPU on my test bench right now.
Oh, I love that Oris Water Force card. That thing is epic.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing. Speaking of which, that card in the Water Force C390 Extreme are going to be on display in the Mod Tom's building for QuakeCon. It's going to be at the Oris booth at QuakeCon, or Gigabyte's going to be at QuakeCon for the first time this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'll be sweet. Man, I gotta make it to QuakeCon one of these years.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to go. My intent was to go and bring my daughter with me this year, but my work got, transitioned owners, and it's been a nightmare. But right now, I am playing the video I did about the Onyx mod on the stream, and yeah, this.
Oh, that was an excellent video.
Thank you. I try, dude. It's all the gimbal, man. That gimbal made a world of difference in my video quality.
See, I need to get. I have one for my phone, my Note 9 or whatever, that I use for shows just because I can throw it in my bag and stuff. But I need something for my eventual mirrorless camera.
Yeah.
That I've talked to you about probably 20 times.
Yeah, dude, I've come so close to selling mine like 3 or 4 times, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm using it right now on stream.
You have so much epic camera gear.
Oh, dude. So basically, right after CES last year, at CES 2018, we used my old camera to shoot a couple of videos, and I was so disappointed in the quality of the videos. Yeah. I couldn't do it at all. So I ended up literally spending my life savings on new camera gear. And at first it was a little bit, then I just went fucking all in, dude. I ended up buying a Sony A7 III. Right now I have a 35mm f1.4 lens on it that I'm streaming with. I got a 4K capture card. I beefed up my computer. Like I'm running 64 gigs of RAM on it now.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I went all out. I added 5 terabytes of NVMe storage to my computer.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nuts.
yeah, it's crazy.
Speaking of which, have you seen that new Oris what is it? That new it's like 15 gig a second or something transfer speeds. They
No.
had it at they had it during Computex. They unveiled it. It's got like 4 NVMe drives or something and one PCIe connection, and it's all air cooled. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Send it to you.
So I know Matt was telling us that a on the new X570 boards with PCIe Gen 4, you
Uh-huh.
have to put some kind of heatsink on your NVMe drives.
Oh, I believe it. That new copper one they have is just insane too. And they unveiled that at the same time. I think it was like 5 gig a second or something like that.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. I have seen some results from new AMD GPUs. If the leaks I've seen are true, they're pretty impressive.
But it seems like AMD's going after more higher end market now. Like before they were seemed like they were going after budget, and now it seems like they're kind of chasing that upper end with the X570 boards being a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Um, so that's interesting. I'm excited to get one here to play around with.
I can't wait to see some of the results from these chips. Holy shit.
Well, they're nuts, huh?
8 terabytes of storage?
Yeah. Dude, they got like a crazy cooling system for it too.
That is insane. It's so dark in here. I forgot to put half the lights on.
You're streaming from the dungeon.
Yeah. I'm a little rusty here. It's been a while since I actually streamed.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And every time I do, I say I'm going to make this a regular thing, but I mute this time.
I'll hold you to it.
Yeah. So far, I have 3 of these, including you, 3 modern spotlights set up. And our goal, I have to talk to Tom and Dwayne about it, but I think what we're going to do is shoot for once a month at first. And then once we have, enough like on the back burner, we'll switch to every other week. But eventually, I would like to make this a weekly thing. There's enough modders out there that do amazing work that we could feature. I just need to get in touch with them. But so far, I have a couple set up. In fact, the next one is going to be the guys from Mod My Mods.
Sweet.
And then I have spoken to 2 other people. One has confirmed he'll do it. We just got to confirm a date. And we're always going to shoot for Sunday night about 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, it works because people on the East Coast are still up. People on the West Coast are still up. Carmen, how are you, my friend? Carmen has one of my old X99 setups. And one of my old 1070s? Yeah. So one of my biggest questions for you is, how do you come up with these ideas? Your mods are so creative and there's so much detail put into them that I don't think if I borrowed your brain, I couldn't figure out the shit you do.
Really, I find mods in everything. I mean, I'll be walking down the road and see a fence that's made a weird way or something, and maybe it'll kick an idea to make a panel a certain way, or I take a notebook around with me like everywhere, and I'm constantly writing down ideas because like I literally see mods in everything, ordinary daily stuff, or the way a TV was built, or just the most random stuff. And of course, like pictures and stuff like that you come across online inspires you certain mods and stuff like that.
You know what I would love to see you mod, and this might sound really stupid, but I think you could kill it, would be a grill.
I'm all about trying something different. I mean, if I've never done it, I at least want to do it once for the most part when it comes to building stuff.
Yeah. Put a phase change cooler in it.
I've been wanting to do a phase change mod for a long time. I mean, they're just epic.
Yeah, I know. I know. With my luck, I'd something up, though.
Yeah, but that's just the price of learning.
Yeah, no. I've learned a lot, then, we'll say that.
You and me both.
I got too many computers, that's for one, and I have too many screens.
Yeah, you and me both. I've got monitors freaking stacked in my shop right now.
Yeah, see, I have them all set up, though.
It's like the Matrix up in there.
It really is, dude. Yeah, currently right now I have 6 screens set up in here on 2 systems, but I have 4 more monitors to hook up to that system
Jeez.
Behind me.
You must pull some wattage.
Oh, dude. my electric bill on average is like $500 a month.
Holy jeez.
Yeah.
I think mine's like 150.
Yeah. If I see a $400 electric bill, it's a good month. You know, like both of my kids have high-end computers. I have 3 in this room alone. It's sad.
See, I have a bunch, just none of them are hooked up. I only
Yeah.
got the desk right now.
Yeah, I got them all hooked up. I'm always doing something. Like if I'm benchmarking, I won't even watch YouTube on the same system because you can't. So
Yeah.
I usually have my laptop hooked up to my TV just for watching Netflix or whatever. And
See,
then
that's why I built the desk. It's because it's got the 2 systems. I can,
Yeah.
you know, use one for YouTube or whatever, benchmark on the other, or design on the other, or whatever.
Well, I had been talking to another modder about doing either a 2 or a 3 system test bench. So I
That
can,
would be sweet.
and I want it to look along the lines of what the Primo Chill Praxis looks like.
Mhm.
That same basic design, just with like 3 systems on it.
That'd be sick, like a stretched one.
Yeah. I'll put my AMD system on there, my Intel consumer, and then Intel enthusiast.
That'd be awesome.
And I can put like 12 monitors at my desk.
Anything to add more monitors.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I wish I was rich, Dwayne. I'm poor. That's the issue. All of my worldly possessions are in computer hardware and electronics.
You're PC rich. I don't have much in the bank, but I got plenty in my office.
Yeah, pretty much same thing here. It's an investment.
Yeah, there you go. At least I don't have a girlfriend or a wife to explain to.
You know, it blows my mind when people are like, "Oh, my wife won't let me buy this and my wife won't let me do that." I don't know. I luck out. I came home one day with like $4,000 worth of camera gear, and she's like, "Oh, cool."
Camera gear is an addiction in itself.
Oh, it's terrible. It's
like I bought a couple things, and the next thing you know, I'm shopping online for more.
Yeah, it's bad. When I first started reviewing, the guy that I was working for was like, "Yeah, you need to get a decent camera. Just I don't want you using a cell phone." And because back then I was like, "Oh, but cell phones have cameras." And he's like, "Yeah, no." He's like, "You can't use a cell phone camera. You need a real camera." I'm like, "But my cell phone." And he's like, "No." So I went out and I bought. It was some Nikon, and I just went crazy after that. It's so addicting.
It is.
So addicting. I spend more time looking to buy for my camera than I do using my camera.
Yeah, I probably do too.
But yeah, like I've had this one since December. I got it Christmas Eve. And I think I've already taken like 10,000 pictures or something absurd like that.
Oh, I believe it.
It's put in its work.
God, it's stupid how many photos we take at shows and stuff.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is. Carmen, if you want to shoot me a message, I have a Nikon D5100 you can have. It only has a kit lens. The lens isn't good at all, but you're welcome to the camera if you want to get a decent lens. You can get like a nice 35 millimeter lens for like 150-ish, give or take. Raineth makes a good point. You really don't see a huge quality difference because most of the videos are watched on YouTube.
Yeah, they're so degraded.
But I know. Doesn't matter if you're watching on a friggin' 900p monitor and you can't see the difference. I know it's there.
Yeah, true.
You know, the biggest part about shooting in 4K isn't even about outputting 4K content. It's about editing. Like, if you, especially if you're going to render in 1080p with, 4K video, you can zoom in and you're not going to lose any of the quality. There's just so much you can do. I actually had the privilege of getting to edit 8K footage on an 8K monitor when Damon and I went to the 9th generation launch event in New York. They had a Dell 8K monitor. It was a 32-inch 8K monitor set up.
Jeez.
And it had like a 18 core extreme edition processor, 102. Actually, it had 240 gigs of memory. They had 32 gig DIMMs in this thing. And it was like, oh my God. It was a whole nother world. I need glasses. Oh, okay. I understand. I get it. Yes, Carmen. I get it. He's saying that the way we are with the computer stuff, that's how he is about his audio equipment. And yes, I understand. I
can understand that.
Have been wanting to get a Shure SM7B for the longest time. But then when I was at PAX last year, I got this. And it was like 33% off, so it was like $100. And it's the Audio-Technica AT2035, and I'm pretty happy with the quality of this. I mean, it's no Shure SM7B, but it's also not a $400 mic. But compared to what I used to use, it is night and day. My first camera that I ever streamed with was a Logitech C615. And that is terrible. It's like a 720p camera. And I used a blue Snowball at the time. And yes, I am a firm believer in that statement that the Snowball is better than the Yeti. The Blue Yeti is the absolute worst microphone I've ever attempted to use. I would rather get a $10 Logitech friggin' microphone than ever use a Blue Yeti. The thing was terrible.
Those mics get so much exposure online. They're like everywhere.
It blows my mind too because they're just wretchedly bad.
I don't get it. They must pay a lot for advertising.
They have to. They must just give everybody and their mother who's on friggin' YouTube or Twitch a Blue Yeti because that thing's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. When I used to have it, I used it for 3 streams. And the second stream I used it, you could literally hear my cat meowing in the apartment next door.
What was your cat doing next door?
It's my dad's cat.
Oh, okay, I got you now.
And then the last time I used it, I was doing an Extra Life stream. And I'm sitting in the exact spot I'm in right now, in front of the same window I was in front of, except the window was open. But you could hear my neighbors literally about 100 yards away fighting. The Blue Yeti is so sensitive, and there's absolutely no gain control on it at all. I don't care if there's a knob on it that says gain control. There's not. It goes from
it's like an elevator. It's like the elevator door close button that does nothing.
Yeah. With this microphone, I have it hooked up to the Sound Blaster K3 Plus, which is just an unbelievably amazing audio interface, especially the fact you can get them for like $100 now. It's great. And I can have such good gain control, excuse me, with this thing that they can be people literally on the other side of the wall from me screaming and yelling. And if I turn the gain down low enough, you're not going to hear nothing. So, do you have any really big plans and like any big projects planned for the future?
I do. I mean, most of them I can't really say much about.
Yeah.
I always have some stuff for CES. You guys see at least two, maybe three builds a year for CES.
Yeah.
So that the next big focus. I'm doing, like I said, the Cyberpunk mod in the meantime, and some other projects that are modding related, but not necessarily case mods. So some stuff you'll probably see towards the end of the year that'll be coming out.
It doesn't matter what you do, it's always going to look amazing. I've never seen anything that you've put out that I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's always unbelievable.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm unwilling to put something, a product out or a mod out or really anything that I'm not 100% satisfied with because it will eat me from the inside out. I mean, I've redone an entire half of a mod 3 or 4 times to get it the way I want it. So if it's not just right, it doesn't go out the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've gone and rewritten reviews. There was
Yeah, you
one
know
of
how it is.
them. Oh God, I just had to like walk away, and because it just nothing was good enough,
Yeah,
and
I've had to do that lots of times.
it was uh it was a recent review, the Z390 Water Force Extreme. I
Hmm.
rewrote that review 3 times, no joke, and I'm not talking
Wow.
like deleted a couple things, like started from scratch when I was halfway done, being like, nope, it sounds like
Jeez.
trash, it sounds horrible. Because
I
I
like your reviews, man. You do a good job. I mean,
thank you.
I'm not the type of person that's like, I'm gonna go read me a review today,
Yeah.
but there are stuff I want to know about and stuff like that. And most reviews, I have a hard time, reading through the whole thing. I end up skimming through. But your stuff is real fluid. It makes sense. It's cohesive. It's not too much or too little. So
Well,
I don't
thank
mind
you.
reading your stuff all day long, man.
I really appreciate that because I don't know. I get compliments on it all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just don't know how to take a compliment. I don't really know. But
Yeah, sometimes it can be kind of hard.
I was at Micro Center, and I'm standing at the motherboard rack. They always have the clearance motherboards. And I'm
Uh,
sitting there reading the box, just seeing, what the damage to it is and checking the socket and all that. And some kid comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, are you Polly?" And I look at him and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm here to buy this motherboard because I saw your video on YouTube." I'm like, "What?" Like,
yeah,
what?
it it feels weird to see that you affect people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Even for me, it's weird that people are like, "Oh, I went and bought something that like a tool I use all the time." They're like, "Oh, I went and bought one. I've been using it for a month. I love it. I bought it because you use it and you like it." And it's weird to see that you have that effect over people. But it also kind of makes you step back and realize that you do have a responsibility to, the people that follow your channels and sites and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's weird. And that, oh my God, that one video has 58,000 views now.
Jeez.
And that's the video I've had that's gotten more views than anything else. The next one after that was a fan controller review that got just under 7,000 views.
God, views are so weird like
It
that. Like I'll
really
put something
is.
out that's like, this is epic, it's edited really well, it's interesting, it's all the things that I see online that do well, and like it'll get no traffic. And then I'll just post some random thing that's just like quickly done, you thrown up, and it'll get like 50 some thousand views. And I'm like, what is going on?
That was my best video. It was the Gigabyte AB350 Gaming 3. The cheapest motherboard I ever covered in my life. Got more views than anything else I've ever done.
It's really weird. I'm looking at that box for that motherboard right now.
That's kind of
It's
random, huh?
That's the same motherboard I have in my system, my main rig, I just retired like a few months ago. It was one of those I needed something that was better than my was it the X58 system I had, which it was leaps beyond. Dude, I ran that system overclocked for like close to 10 years, I think, or something stupid like that.
Wow. I haven't kept one computer in like the same configuration for more than few months, 6 months maybe at the most, and that's like stretching it. I want to say it's closer to like 3 or 4 months
Yeah,
without.
you get the itch.
Right now I feel like I'm poor because I have such little hardware here. When I left the last site, I left there with 27 graphics cards sitting on my shelf.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And at one point I have a metal rack behind me that's 5 feet tall, 4 feet wide, has 4 shelves. That rack was bought strictly just for graphics cards and motherboards.
Good God. See, I like build up a stack and then get rid of the oldest stuff and then kind of build it back up and get rid of the oldest stuff just because of space. I mean, I run out
Yeah.
of space. I got racks all over my office and assembly area and you just run out.
Yeah, I got like no room here at all. I'm building a new office within the next 6 to 9 months.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Because literally, my office used to be our living room. We don't even have a living room over here anymore. This has been my office for going on 8 years now. And I used to stream 6, 7 days a week. There was a stretch for about 4 months where I streamed 7 days a week, about 5 hours a day.
Jeez, that's such a commitment.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. But now my goal is to get this channel and my channel Twitch partner.
There you go.
I think we're almost at affiliate. All I have to do is like stream, I think it's 7 days and 30 or something like that. I forget. I was looking at it the other day.
Just do your one a month, then after a while do one a week.
Well, my goal is the spotlight once a month. I want to start doing streams every week. Me and Tom had started doing streams, but it was on Mixer. And we did like, I don't know, 3 or 4, but we decided that we didn't want to put all our time and effort into Mixer because we were just planning on switching back to Twitch when they got like the group stream thing. That's why we were using Mixer, because me, Tom, and Alex and Dwayne could all just stream on the same channel, playing the same game, and do like a 4-person split screen. And I believe Twitch now offers that feature. At least that's what Tom was saying the other day.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome, Melissa. My friend Melissa's up to 161 followers. I have no idea what we're at 142. And we've had 3,207 unique views.
That's pretty. I think on Twitch I have like 1 follower, and I'm pretty sure it's me. I think I'm the only person following my Twitch, but in all fairness, I've never used it, so I can't really complain.
Where can everybody follow you? Like, I know you're on Instagram. I know you're on Twitter, right? Are you on Twitter?
Yep. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Sometimes I mix it up on Tumblr, YouTube. Pretty much for every mod I do, when I'm done, I do a video now. It goes up on the YouTube channel.
Nice.
Like within a couple weeks after it's finished, or after it's released if it's for a show. Other than that, Instagram I update 3 times a day. Same with Facebook and Twitter. So if you want to see what I'm doing, I sometimes post just whatever I'm working on, even if it's not necessarily directly related to modding. So pretty much all of them are under Envious mods, so you can find it one way or another. There is a guy, however, on YouTube.
I just saw that.
Is Envious, I think mods with a Z or something weird, and he does like game streaming or something, and he like tried to copy my name or something.
Yeah, I just
But
saw that.
if you see game streaming on YouTube, that's definitely not me. I don't have time for games, unfortunately. I wish I did.
Yeah, it was so I just linked your Twitch. I'm sorry, not Twitch. Your Twitter and your Instagram, and I had linked your YouTube channel earlier in the chat. So everybody give him a follow and all that fun stuff.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I remember being in high school. Me and my friend at the time both were adamant when we got out of high school, we wanted to find a job where we could play video games. And I bumped into him for the first time in like 15 years the other day. And I told him
You're
that
like,
I'm like, hey, dude, I finally have a job where I can play video games.
your dreams came true.
Yep. So,
God, who would have thought 10 years ago that gaming would be at the level it is now?
right? Dude, I just found out, and I can't believe I didn't. I had to have seen this. I think you told me about it when we were at CES this year. HyperX has a friggin' esports stadium in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
That's
they had a big
crazy.
advertisement or whatever for it when we were there.
It just blows my mind that gaming's gotten that big. I remember right about 10 years ago, if you told people that you were an adult that played video games, they looked at you like you were a basement dwelling virgin nerd.
Yeah, drinking Smirnoff Ice in your basement.
Yeah. And now, look, it's just huge.
Well, they're saying they're pulling in larger viewerships for the tournaments than pro sports players.
Yeah.
And now the money's following. They're making stupid amounts of money.
Yep.
And I mean, it's good for everybody, though. Even though I don't do gaming directly, it's good for the whole industry.
It is. It really is. It just over the last few years, going to PAX East and seeing how many companies there with computer hardware is just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
It didn't seem like there was as many this year, but last year there was so many hardware companies. There was a lot there this year too, but Inwin was there last year. I was blown away to see Inwin at PAX East.
Yeah, PAX is getting big, especially PAX East.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I've been hearing tons about it.
Yeah. They're talking, so
it was nice to get to go.
They added a fourth day, and now the last 2 years they've been telling me that they're gonna expand into another friggin' building.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I think you told me that.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Well, it's cool to see companies that aren't in our industry getting involved in our industry, even if it's just investing money into it or whatever. Companies that have nothing to do with what we do want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
So do you have any other events you're doing this year? Or you just doing CES next?
I'm kind of, at the end of my run, other than CES at the end of the year, the first of next year, show-wise. I don't have anything planned right now for shows, but you never know. It can change week by week.
Yeah.
So... yeah, it was interesting to experience what do they call those? The workers union, the union there.
Oh God.
In Boston. Dude, the first thing I experienced when we get to the show is a guy telling us we can't use our four-wheeled cart and we have to use some rickety thing, or they'll charge. It was something stupid. It was $1,000. It would have been $10,000 to move some equipment to a booth.
Yep.
That we could do ourselves.
Yep.
I mean, it was nuts.
Or we'll do it for $2,000 cash right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or you talk to another guy and he's like, "Well, I'll do it for half the price." Or
yeah, dude, it's terrible.
If it wasn't for the Pepsi guys who were also pissed off at the union while we were there, we would have taken forever. They gave us their specialized carts that were legit there, so we got to use those.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't do well in enclosed spots.
Me either.
It wouldn't be too great.
I got stuck in an elevator once going to the doctor, and it was only 20 minutes, but it was the longest 20 minutes of my life.
That's right. Remember when we were at CES? You picked me up from the airport. We got in my hotel, got into the elevator, and the
Yes.
doors closed, and the elevator
Yes.
wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
like stuck in there.
I was starting to freak out a bit. I ain't gonna lie.
You and me both.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
lo and behold, we had to like use the key or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
swipe it or something.
Yeah.
We like got out and back in several times because we were so scared we are gonna get stuck in there.
Yeah. At the first time I'm like, wow, that was the fastest elevator I've ever seen in my life. And then I step out, I'm like, oh wait, we didn't go anywhere. uh,
Yeah, yeah, that sketched me out for sure.
good times, though.
We,
Good times.
we were thinking about taking the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like 12 floors or something.
Yep. But I'd rather walk 50 floors than get stuck in an elevator.
You and me both.
And dude, I'm telling you, the more I listen to the news and the more I just see what's going on in the world, you've seen the movie Idiocracy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's what the world's turning into. It's really, really happening.
I mean, it's actually getting kind of scary.
It really is. Even just like on stupid Facebook posts when people asking for advice on their computer, just some of the things that people come up with, it's like, dude, like I know it's not like the easiest thing. It's not like, coloring in a coloring book, building a computer or nothing, but it's not brain surgery.
Yeah.
And just some of the questions that come out of people's mouths are just mind blowing.
At least with computers, though, it's more complex, especially when you're looking from the outside and you've never used one.
True.
But I mean, a lot of the stuff I see on a daily basis is just like straight common sense stuff. It's like, how do you not understand that?
Yeah, I know.
It's nothing complex.
Like I had this one kid couldn't understand the concept of where a graphics card got plugged into on a motherboard. Asking me what adapter he needs, like where's the HDMI port, like I don't know what the hell the kid, he thought he plugged the graphics card into the wall and then
Like it was an external system that it connected to?
Yeah, like you're supposed to hook up the HDMI cable from the graphics card to the HDMI put on your motherboard, and he's like, where do I plug the graphics card into now? Like, how do I plug this into the wall? I'm like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, dude.
You're like, what kind of graphics card do you have?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, hold on, let me get my 8-year-old. She can explain this to you a little bit better. I used to spend a lot of time at Micro Center, and some of the stuff that comes out of these people's mouths are just lunacy.
I bet the guys at Micro Center get the worst of it.
No. The guys at the Micro Center are the worst of it.
Oh.
They are so stupid, some of these people. It's like
I would think they'd be like trained or something.
You would think so, but nope. One of
just like stick them in there with no clue.
I mean, there's a couple of people there that know their stuff, but for the overwhelming majority of the people that are like, they don't know what they're doing. Like one of the kids was telling me he was bagging groceries at the Trader Joe's next door and then got hired over there to work in the friggin' the DIY section. I'm like, what? Like you ever build computers before? Well, I have a computer. Okay, do you know how to
I have a
one?
car, but that doesn't make me a mechanic.
Exactly. And I'm listening to this kid. He's trying to explain to these people, like the guy was in there to buy a new processor for his motherboard. And the dude had a Z370 motherboard. And the kid's trying to tell him he should get an AMD chip because it works with Z370 and Z470 and Z570. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Anything with a 70.
Yeah. And then he's telling the guy, oh, but hold off because the new AMD chips are going to be faster than Intel's chips and blah, like just the stuff that was coming out of his mouth. He's like, they're going to overclock to like 5.8 gigahertz. I'm like, dude, what kind of shit are you smoking? He's like, no, look. And he showed me this thing from, it was, I want to say a 2700X that got overclocked to 5.7 or 5.8 gigahertz on
Like on
LN2.
liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, look, see? I'm like, okay, first of all, that's last generation, and that's on liquid nitrogen. Oh,
Yeah, you don't do
he's
that
like,
at
I
your
think
house.
we sell that stuff here. It's all over there. And I'm like, dude, no, that's water cooling. That's total different beast. You guys do not sell liquid nitrogen here. Well, let me go
Man,
ask. I'm
that
like,
is.
you don't have to go ask. I know you don't sell liquid nitrogen here because I would have bought it by now.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is scary.
It really
People are just
is.
that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a job where I knew nothing. You know
Another
what I mean?
another time I heard a kid telling the woman that if she bought an AMD motherboard, she had to buy an AMD graphics card. I'm like, no, that's wrong. That ain't right at all. Oh, but they're optimized to work better. I'm like, no, they're not. You have no idea what you're talking about.
You're like, I'm sure of it. It does not work that way.
Yeah. I've been trying to take a break from the social media thing because some of the stuff that I read on these posts, like, did you see how EVGA is allowing people to trade in 700 and 900 series cards towards a 20 series card now for some anniversary they got? And
Uh-huh.
I posted it, and this guy starts arguing with me, telling me, oh, it's just a scam. They're just trying to rip people off. Like, how are they trying to
What?
rip people off? Oh, because they're going to give you nothing for those cards and then sell them on B stock. Who cares? They're letting you trade in a 780 towards a 2080. How
Yeah.
is that a scam?
Well, obviously, if they offer you $20, then yeah, it's probably not a good deal. I mean, use common sense, and it's like if it's a fair deal, it's a fair deal. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't want to deal with trying to sell hardware and stuff.
I have a 1080 showing up in the next couple of days. I was so tempted to grab a 2070 from EVGA because I had to get
Uh-huh.
another card because my 2080 that's on the test bench is going to Tom like tomorrow for
Yeah.
the QuakeCon build, and I'm like,
Hmm.
this is how pathetic I am. All right, I couldn't grasp the concept of only having 3 running systems in this room for like a matter of like a month. So I'm like freaking out. So yeah, I ended up using my emergency credit card to get a 1080 from EVGA, and I almost got a 2070, but I had so much bad luck. I had 3, what was it? I had 2 2080s and 2 2070s from
Uh-huh.
EVGA this generation. All 4 cards had issues.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not, and I'm not the only one. I know several of the people that had serious issues with EVGA's 20 series cards.
That's real weird. EVGA is usually pretty good.
I know. And I was so tempted because I'm like, I just want to get to 2070, but I'm like, yeah, you know what? I had a 2070 XC Ultra that was just dead. And then the next one was a 2070 For the Win 3? No. No, it was a 2070 Black. XC
Hmm.
Black or something. Black something or other. And that just, as soon as it started like putting any kind of load on the GPU, would artifact like crazy. So I was having memory issues. So I sent it back and I'm like, send me the 2080 Black. And that same issue, just same exact issue. And then I got the 2080 For the Win 3.
Hmm.
And I don't know what the issue with that card was, but like every now and again, one of the monitors would just shut off and turn on. I thought it was the monitor, so I switched it out and it was doing the same thing. And then I switched out the cable and it kept doing the same thing. And after like a month, I'm like, and I just returned it and said, I'm just done. Sorry.
That is odd.
And I got an MSI card.
Dude, cards are getting so expensive.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I so wanted to get the Titan from this generation, but I could not justify $2,500 on a goddamn
Yeah.
card. I just couldn't do it. It even the friggin' the 2080 Ti. It hurt to do that, but
Have you heard about the new Nvidia Super that's coming out?
yeah, that's just dumb.
What is that all about?
So basically, from what I understand, is the 2060 Super is going to have the performance of the 2070. The 2070 Super is going to have the performance of the 2080, and the 2080 Super is going to have the performance of the 2080 Ti, which pisses me off that they do stupid shit like that, because now the 2080 Ti that I spent $1,400 on is worth like all.
I heard they're supposed to be like $100 cheaper or something like that,
Yeah.
like comparatively.
Yep. So
Yeah, that's gonna mess up the resale market a ton.
yep. That it is, and it's really, really stupid. It's like the 1070 Ti all over again.
Yeah. True.
So it's good in a way, because now you'll be able to buy a 2080 or a 2070 real cheap. But
Yeah, true.
it sucks for the people that want to sell their 2080s or 2070s, because they have to sell them cheap.
Yeah. Pretty much for the people that bought in early,
Yep.
they're kind of getting downplayed, where the people that haven't bought yet are going to be doing better.
Yep. Yep. So
So, good for some, bad for some.
yeah.
I guess it's like anything else in life.
The way technology is moving and how fast everything's going, it's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, true.
You know, it even now the 1080 is still an amazing card. 1080 Ti is still a friggin' beast. And you could go get, what was it? I think $629 on B stock for the 1080 Ti for the Win 3. That's an excellent deal, especially since they were like $1,100-$1,200 not too long ago.
I'm running two 1080 in SLI for my workstation, or not my workstation, but my gaming station. I mean, they're good cards.
Right now, I have a 2080 on my test bench, but that's going to be a 1080 within the next day or so. And then my VR system has the 2080 Ti. The one in that room, there's two in the next room. They both have the MSI Gaming X Trio 2080. And then the one upstairs has the Vega 2. It's my first ever all AMD system that's really a kick-ass system. Got a 2700X and a Vega 2.
Yeah, I'm running two Vega 64s and a 2700X on Oris's X470 for my workstation. And I like it. It works real well.
So Raineth is running a 980 Ti and the Star Wars Titan. The Star Wars Titan was mine. That was the Sith one, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if I had kept it, Tom was going to modify it so every time the system turned on, it made the lightsaber noise.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, but Ray ended up buying it. And actually, Ray bought that so I could go to CES last year, or the year before, or whatever it was. Yeah, that was my CES money one year. Last year, I sold my two Poseidon 1080 Ti's so I could go. And this year, I don't know, maybe I'll sell a kidney. But anyway, guys, it is getting late. Calen, I'll give you the last word. Is there anything you want to tell anyone to watch out for, any of that stuff?
Just check out the social media, subscribe and join and follow if you like what I do. And there's always new stuff coming out all the time. So every day I'm busy making something. Yep,
and it's all top-notch, high-quality, amazing work. Again, you're not going to find another modder that puts the time and effort and detail into what they do more than Calen. His work's unbelievable. If you haven't seen it, check it out. All the links were in the chat. And if you're watching this on the upload on YouTube, all of Calen's information will be in the description below. So I want to thank you guys all for joining us tonight. And I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be, but the next Modder Spotlight is going to be on the guys from Mod My Mods, and either Kevin and or Joe will be joining me for that one. And just watch out on the social media. We'll be posting more information on that as soon as we have it. So thank you everybody for following or watching us tonight. Follow, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Thank you, guys.